Hello there everyone, and welcome back to the next video for this mock update series. Today's episode is kind of like I almost call it like a repair episode. I kind of go in and just kind of touch up a bunch of different little things throughout the entire mock and kind of just polish it just a little bit with some more terrain and then some more work on the mountain, and then finishing some of the stuff on the top of the mountain as well. So pretty simple episode, but I think it's nice to get some more of these details done so the mock just feels more complete and more polished off. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so up here is the turret that I've shown a few times, and I wanted to try something a little different for the floor design up here. You've got those pieces that I've shown off before, those dark blue parts. Next I decided to add some 1x2 grills, and then underneath it I wanted to have like a bunch of different, you can kind of see like the inside of like machinery and some other different parts that would kind of lead into the turret. So you can see I've got like a flex tube down there, I think that's what they're called, and then some like trans light green underneath, so make it look like it's a bunch of like wiring and parts where you can, like a droid could go in and like make repairs on it and like pry up some of these 1x2 grills, and they can like make some repairs on the turret with all like the power cords and power generators and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm going for down here. It's turning out okay, not exactly how I had it imagined in my head, but this is kind of what I'm thinking for this section of the build. But I'm going to keep working on this and hopefully it'll look good enough to keep. Alright guys, so I finished this section over here. You can see I've just got all the grill pieces down there, and then underneath those grill pieces are like a flex tube that's supposed to be kind of like a pipe or a power cord that runs underneath the walkway and into the turret, and then just some other cool like trans green elements in there to fit kind of the turbo laser color, and then just kind of the grill pieces so that the separatists can go in and make repairs on the turret and stuff like that. So I think also those blue slope pieces are really cool, and I think kind of add to this part of the mock up here and make it a little bit nicer and a little bit cleaner. So there's what I've got for this area, and here's what that looks like from just a different view a little bit farther away. So I think it's looking okay. It probably could be touched up a little bit, so I'll probably, if I end up having some free time, I'll go back in and kind of change it, make it a little bit cleaner, because it is a little bit, it's a little rough right now, but if I have time I'll go back in and kind of fix that a little bit, make it a little bit nicer and a little bit cleaner. But it's also kind of supposed to be, you know, kind of like the Y-Wing, like that the Rebels used, not the Clone Wars version, but the Galactic Civil War version, where like the back is all torn up and kind of battle worn. You can see all the different mechanic, like all the parts and stuff, kind of like that. That's kind of what it's supposed to be, where you can kind of see the design, so then the droids can go in here and just kind of repair it. So it's probably been a while since I've talked about the mountain or shown a lot of progress on the mountain, so I thought I'd talk about that real quick. This side over here is pretty much done. It's been done for a while. I'm really liking how this looks, especially at the bottom here, and then it kind of as well on towards the right hand side over there. Definitely liking how it looks, and then the bunker in there too came out the way I was hoping. And this far right side over here, you know, looks pretty good. This is what I was wanting to do. And now we've got this middle part, which has been a reason I haven't really updated you guys, because it's been quite a pain, honestly, to try to finish this. I'm running into a lot of problems. Mainly, I've talked about this before, since I did the hangar and it was kind of an impromptu build, it wasn't part of the original layout. That pretty much made it so I had already started the mountain, and then I put the hangar in, and I kind of ran out of room to put any slope pieces. And then I had the path right here, and all of a sudden I didn't have any room to build any slopes to make this part of the mountain. So I don't want to take the hangar apart, obviously, and I don't want to tear all this terrain and path work up, which has resulted in this problem right here. And this problem is, well, as you can see, I'm building in some slopes. Bottom actually doesn't look too bad. It's pretty straight up, but it actually is kind of interesting. When everything's kind of just straight up like that, it looks a lot different than, you know, something like really anywhere else in the mountain. All these slopes are kind of flat and straight up. So in some of these areas, I don't have any more room to put any slopes at all. You can see most of this is already lined up with the hangar. I can't put any more slopes up there. So that's the big problem. I really honestly don't know what I'm going to do to fix it, unless I just decide to kind of leave it open. But I don't know if I want to leave it open because it doesn't look the best. But my only other thing that I would think of doing is just being like, well, maybe making the parts where I can't actually build any more slopes, make it like destroyed, as if like maybe a clone piece of artillery or a rocket launcher or something hit a part of the mountain and it kind of blew off and fell onto the ground, and then that's why there would be a bunch of open areas like that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. I'd be happy to hear what you guys have to think, but I don't really want to tear up all this pathwork in the hangar to add in more slopes, but I also get that it kind of looks kind of weird right now. So my thought is maybe just making it as if parts of the wall have been, or parts of the mountain have been, hit by explosions and they kind of fallen off, and that's why there's holes in the mountain. So that's kind of my lazy excuse right now, but it's going to be a while before I work on that because I'm going to try to think of any alternative ideas I have or hear from you guys on how to fix this part of the build. Alright, so over here we're on top of the mountain over here. Here's the turret for reference. Up top here used to just be a whole bunch of opened studs and everything like that, so I went in, added a little path in there, added in some crates. You can see some crates down there with some weapons in them, and then over here we've got a droid who's getting some ammunition out of a box. So just some small details up here to make it not as plain. I'm not too worried about this spot up here because it's not a super main concern of the MOC, at least right now, where it's not something that is super important to get done when I've got other things like the village to work on, but it was kind of annoying me that there wasn't anything up here, so I went back in and added in a little path and then some crates and a bunch of different little details for the separatists. So this part's pretty much almost done. This stuff over here is looking pretty good, and then this stuff over here is also starting to get done. So pretty exciting stuff, and I'm going to move on to the next clip. Okay guys, so this is the entrance to the base. I've shown this off a few times here, this blue and dark gray area, and today I just wanted to really quick, I got some really good suggestions about a month ago, and I've just been starting to try to figure out how am I going to do that on a practical sense. I had two suggestions from Robinet03 and LWSA Productions, I think is how you pronounce them. They both had some great ideas of making some sort of separatist banner over here or some sort of separatist symbol, so like the CIS's like faction symbol. I thought those were both really cool ideas because right now you can see it's just kind of dark gray. It's kind of bland and a little bit boring. So I loved both of those suggestions. I've just been, it's taken me a long time to get to it because I've been trying to think how to build that exactly because it's kind of an odd shape, a little more circular, or just some different weird angles and shapes for the separatist symbol. So I've been trying to think how the heck I'm going to try to do that, but I am getting to those suggestions. I just wanted to quickly update you guys. I try my best to get to all the suggestions, but sometimes there's lots of other things I want to work on the MOC, so it takes me some time to get around to building that stuff. So I'm starting to try to figure out and prototype how I'm going to build like a separatist symbol or banner. If you guys have any cool or helpful tips on how to make those interesting shapes or the CIS symbol in particular, definitely drop those in the comment section below, but I just wanted to give a quick update on those two suggestions. Okay guys, so it might be kind of hard to tell, but I did get some more terrain built. You can kind of see it here, it's starting to all come together. And the remaining, you might think it looks a little blocky in some of these areas. The reason for that is all of the remaining 16 by 16 plates that I have all over the MOC, I'm leaving them. I'm not putting terrain on them yet because those 16 by 16 plates are probably where all of the trenches are going to go. So I don't want to do terrain on those yet because I have to pry up all these plates and replace them with a bunch of smaller plates so I can make trenches and stuff like that. But for now, here is some extra terrain work. Again, looking pretty awesome. The studded terrain is what I like to personally use. I know a lot of people like more of the tiled style, but the reason that I like the textured like stud terrain is because this again was built for Brickworld, and at a LEGO convention, when you see, I don't know if the camera does it justice, but when you kind of step back from the MOC and look at it from afar, it really catches your attention. It kind of looks like a mosaic, where if you're standing kind of far away and you look over at the MOC, you'll see a bunch of this detailed and textured detail all along the whole battlefield, and it kind of catches your eye, and then hopefully it makes you want to come and check it out. So that is why, I don't know if it really looks the same in camera or not, you guys will have to tell me, but I think, I know a lot of people like the tiled stuff, but again, for reasons I just explained with the whole convention, outlook on things, I like the studded terrain a little bit better. But for this MOC, since I started off doing the studded terrain, I'm going to keep doing that throughout the entire MOC. So some of you guys may or may not like it depending on what your style of terrain is like, but I personally like the rough studded terrain, especially at eye level. I think it looks really, really good at eye level, really uneven and good texture. So I think it looks pretty cool. Hopefully you guys are liking it. The terrain is very tedious, so I'm doing little bits of it at a time. So, and there's so much space still to cover, but for now, here's a little bit of extended terrain. Now I can probably at least start to map out where the trenches will go. And the trenches will probably be an entire episode by itself. So I'm definitely looking forward to starting that episode. That'll be very, very soon. So yep, here's updated terrain so far. Here's what the terrain looks like from an above view, like up top, aerial kind of shot here. Looking pretty good so far. Definitely will probably use a little touch up and tune ups throughout the whole build, but yep, here's what it's looking like. I think the inclusion of olive green makes it a little more interesting, so it's not just dark tan and brown. So I might end up ordering some more olive green 1x1s and maybe some 1x2s and other plate sizes, just kind of fill it in every once in a while, because I think that adds a nice little color difference from the dark tan and brown. And then here's some more cool eye level type shots here. You can get the scale of the mountain with the minifigures and everything like that. So I'm really excited to I love setting up figures. So Paul, my collab partner, and Paul is a master at setting up figures. If you noticed the last Brickworld MOC and Etane's, he's absolutely a master at that. So I've been trying to practice my own minifig placement in terms of postures and everything like that in the intros and outros of the videos. So I hope you guys are enjoying that. And I hope hopefully it looks good with all the figures, because I put in a lot of time trying to practice how to set up all these figures and stuff like that. So quick update on the whole collab situation, I guess, now that I mentioned it. So usually for these MOCs, Paul and I, who's my collab partner, we kind of have the build over at my house, and then he'll come over occasionally and we'll build together, and we always plan the MOC together, and then we always kind of do the finishing touches together, and then Paul will come over and we'll build for a little bit throughout the year, and then also setting up figures and everything at the convention. That's kind of our thing. We love doing that. Unfortunately, this year college has kind of gotten in the way, and we haven't really been able to build much together. And then on top of that, the pandemic thing happened, so unfortunately, Paul and I haven't really been able to build a whole lot, but we still planned the whole MOC together, and he's come over a few times, and we've kind of talked about different ways to make the MOC unique and cool and stuff like that. So hopefully things will calm down here with a little bit, and hopefully Paul will be able to come over and we'll be able to start building together again, because building with your friends is always, it's really, really fun. So I'm looking forward to the time when we'll be able to come together and build again, and he'll definitely be over for setting up the final figures and taking all the pictures and the epic, walk through the whole MOC cinematic video. We'll all be doing that together. But for now, we haven't been able to work together entirely in person, but we've been talking over the phone and, planning the MOC and everything like that. So that's a quick update on that. I always leave Paul's Instagram link in the description below, so if you ever want to check out some of his stuff on there, definitely go do that. We've been friends for a long time. We build MOCs together. We also make short films together and all sorts of stuff. So I'll leave his link in the description if you are interested. But yeah, just thought I'd update you guys quick on that in case any of you guys are wondering what the status was on both of us working on the MOC. Also, if you guys have made it this far into the video, I'll give you a little sneak peek here. So we have, now that Brickworld was canceled for this year, Paul and I have already planned, back in February even, we started to plan what MOC is going to be for Brickworld 2021. We're just waiting for some parts to get in, and then obviously finishing this MOC. And after finishing this MOC, that new MOC for Brickworld 2021 will be the next build series. And I gotta tell you guys right now, I'm really excited about the idea, and I think it's going to be really epic. So that's just a quick tease. We already have stuff planned for the next MOC in terms of what the planet's going to be, what era it's going to be, all sorts of stuff. So once this MOC is finished, we'll be really excited to move on to that. So if you did make it this far into the video, there's a little sneak peek for you. We have been working and planning the next MOC, which is going to be epic. So, but for now, this MOC has to get finished first, so we'll get back to it. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys did enjoy, just going around, finishing some stuff, polishing some stuff off on the MOC, making it look a little nicer, all sorts of different things. And I hope you guys also liked the small tease of what's to come next. Not really much of a tease, but I just wanted to tell you guys that we do have plans. We've had plans for a long time on the next MOC, and I am so excited to get started on that MOC. Towards the end of the series, I'll probably have some sort of announcement video, but for now, got to finish this MOC first, and I'm also really excited about this MOC. I'm having so much fun making these videos, building, interacting with you guys, and the channel's been doing really good, for the past few weeks and months, so I can't thank you guys enough for all the support. It means it means so much to me, and I'm having so much fun doing this series. So thank you guys so much for all that. Thank you for watching, and as always, leave your feedback in the comments section below. Hope you guys have a great day, and may the force be with you always.